All that stands between you and the net are 3 defenders, fueled up and ready to land an epic save. Your surroundings are familiar, teammates flanking you on both sides, green grass below, and of course, a ball. Your job is simple: get the ball in the net at all costs. This isn't soccer though. It's not even cars playing soccer. It's rocket cars playing soccer, and it's called Rocket League. And it's one of the most popular esports on the planet. This is its story.
This is Rocket League!
Back in 2008, game developer Psyonix released supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars, a physics-based simulation of real-life soccer where the players were cars. Just like in soccer, the cars' goal was to work together, manipulate the ball, pass it back and forth, and land it in the net as often as possible. The game is about as simple as it gets: 3 cars per team, 1 ball, 5 minutes on the clock, and the team with the most goals when the buzzer sounds wins.
You have 3.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to, even them out.
Instead of passing the ball person to person, it's bumped car to car, and you're able to use your rocket boost to manipulate the speed of your car and partake in some jaw-dropping acrobatics.
See, over the line! That ball should have blown up. Oh, you're dirty.
The game was originally released for the PlayStation 3 as a quick $15 download and was received with mixed reviews. The original title was downloaded over 2 million times by PS3 users. Its middling release results aside, there was a hungry competitive scene that grew up around it. Competitive play got popular enough that a third-party ranked ladder even cropped up. The skill ceiling was incredibly high for such a simple game, and players were enamored with harnessing their rocket cars, taking advantage of the terrain, the rocket boosts, and capacity for high-level teamwork. In 2015, Psyonix tried it again. The exact same idea, but this time, the sequel was called Rocket League, and the game exploded. Psyonix tried a different marketing approach this time around, using YouTube and leveraging the popularity of Twitch streamers for sponsored content to draw eyes towards the game.
He's just gonna try to starve me, boost here, and then hit me. Yep, there's the bump attempt.
Rocket League has since tripled the success of its predecessor, selling over 6 million copies and attracting more than 40 million players worldwide. In addition to your upfront purchase, of course the game features the ability to customize your car with cosmetic add-ons. You can tinker with everything from the paint on your car to decals and parts, and even the way the ball explodes when you score. And as the game has increased in popularity, there have been multiple collaborations with various pop culture iconography. Yes, you can even play with the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
What's unique about this game is its simplicity. Unlike your standard title, Rocket League more or less starts and stops with cars playing soccer. Enjoying the game, honing your skills, and becoming great are all completely reliant on the game's physics engine, nothing more. And this isn't a downside. On the contrary, it might be Rocket League's single greatest asset. This game channels the history of human competition. Understanding it is as simple as looking at the screen. There aren't pages of items or passive abilities to worry about. Take a massive game like League of Legends, for example. During the 2018 LCS Summer Split, one single patch was able to turn the game on its head and change the metagame overnight. which is exciting, but can also be overwhelming for non-committal fans. When the meta is always going to be put the ball in the net, being a fan comes at a much lower cost. Because at the end of the day, it's just physics. And it was that ease of entry that attracted players to hone their skills and master the elegant format Rocket League offered, which of course led to the next step, eSports.
The RLCS is the biggest tournament in Rocket League history. Each region, EU and NA, had 2 independent open qualifiers. A whopping 20,478 players signed up in the first qualifiers, but only 8 teams from each region went on to the group stages.
This is where the simplicity of the design shows how much of an asset it is. Although the game isn't being fine-tuned all the time, the community is always able to push its limitless skill ceiling. Players like Squishy Muffins and Cuxier have been able to invent ceiling shots and pinch shots to completely warp the way the game is played.
It's a beautiful play, and you saw it in the bit before the match. It's the Cuxier pitch, 74 miles an hour. He pulls it off on the biggest stage.
Shortly after the game's release, another community of hyper-competitive players featuring many of the same faces as the original title followed. And then came the Rocket League Championship Series in 2016.
The top 4 teams of each region have been determined and are now going to compete for their chance at the remaining prize pool of $55,000.
Esports often come with growing pains. Games can be hyper-complicated at the top level, and it often takes years to acquire enough endemic fans to really call the journey into esports successful. This is the heart of the success of Rocket League esports. Even during its first baby steps into competitive play in Season 1, fans loved watching the game. Rocket League's followers were dedicated and passionate, and growing quickly due to the ease of entry the game offers.
But at the same time, that could be at the first one! Greasy! Making history, the first RLCS goal right there!
When you watch the RLCS for the first time, it's about as jaw-dropping a jump from casual to competitive you'll see across all of esports. These guys are doing backflips.
No, this is more like golf commentary, I love it. Oh, that's looking good, there we go, Metza!
Executing carefully crafted game plans and passing plays.
Back into the middle, Sad Jr., nice flick, looks for Jacob. Jacob!
No way!
Oh my God!
The tournament! This passing play is phenomenal!
Using the walls and their boost to land incredible double tap goals.
He's still pretty much by himself. He's going to allow Devo to move himself forward. He's going to get a double tap off that side wall.
It really shows off the skill-intensive ceiling that the game has to offer. The imaginative way that the best players play is a sight to see. Season 1 of the RLCS was all about iBuyPower Cosmic.
Maybe the most hyped up match so far today?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time on the RLCS stream that we're going to get to see iBuyPower Cosmic, and I guarantee you, it will not be the last.
Just like everyone else, they started the season trying to figure out their way around a brand new esports landscape. But as the World Championship approached, they started to heat up.
Expect it to be something. Oh my God! Passing. The pass plays are incredible here. Lachinio on the wall, putting it up to Gambit, who puts it over to Kronovi.
Look at that pass off to Gambit. Gambit plays it back over off that wall. Everybody up in the air and getting to it early.
And once they settled in, nobody could stop them. And they brought home the first place chunk of the modest $55,000 prize pool.
It's on the wall. Kronovi tries to put it over. Mike Rules drops it. Cookster takes the shot. It doesn't matter. iBuyPower are the RLCS champions.
Congratulations, iBuyPower Cosmic has taken flips on tactics for the second time so far in this tournament.
Worlds was exciting and showed that this little game that could had real esports potential. iBuyPower was the jumping off point for Rocket League's esports growth. They were very marketable world champions, and Kronovi in particular did a lot to grow the scene with his stream.
Oh yes! Oh my God, montage.
Oh my God.
After Season 1 Worlds, Rocket League esports grew substantially, and a lot of that growth took place in Europe, which was quickly becoming the breeding grounds for much of the young talent the game had to offer.
Off the backboard, goes in! How appropriate! But goes down and take it! They take the championship against Rocket Aces! Please sign your world champions for the last in Amsterdam! Give it up to your
was during Season 3 that the esports community fell in love with Northern Gaming. They were the number 4 seed out of Europe, headed into the World Championship, but quickly became the Cinderella story of the tournament. After being swept by NRG, they were knocked down to the losers bracket. But in dramatic fashion, they fought hard to defeat the number 2 NA seed in Rogue to get to the finals, a spot nobody expected them to be in.
Northern Gaming, one of our dynasties here. There were so many question marks around them coming into this LAN. Would they be able to perform with the sub Turbo Pulsar? And they have done exactly that.
They would then go on to beat Mocket not once, but twice to reset the bracket and become the Season 3 World Champions.
And look at these champions, ladies and gentlemen.
Notably, this was the coming out party for Turbo Pulsar. One of the game's brightest stars was born that day. And as we now know, Rocket League would never be the same.
Turbo coming in as the substitute, such a huge deal.
Really, Devo should share that MVP award with Turbo Pulsar.
Yeah.
But it was Season 4 that Rocket League found its most heroic team. The lineup of Violent Panda, K-Dop, and the aforementioned Turbo Pulsar would go on to define the esport through their dominance.
Ladies and gentlemen, your world champions, Gale Force eSports.
Simply put, they were the best. And their success would not stop with Season 4. They would go on to win Season 5 of RLCS in Europe as well, before the roster was bought by Dignitas shortly before the World Championship.
Turbo Pulsar ribbon up high, gets the flick, Turbo! Three-time world champion!
And as they continued to win, Rocket League eSports quickly became the story of Dignitas.
See how they can respond against this Dignitas squad, but they're threatening again. That shot going to go in, so perfect placement. 2-0 Dignitas fire.
Since the Dig acquisition at the beginning of 2018, the team won virtually everything. They placed first in the RLCS Season 5 finals, won Northern Arena, and dominated RLCS Season 6 Europe.
Remco comes back up, Metzenars is there, and Violent Panda shuts it down 3 seasons in a row. It's Dignitas.
And along with the dominance of this historic squad, Rocket League eSports was growing in popularity with every passing tournament.
We had a buzzer beater in Game 7 to send us to overtime in Game 7. Can you believe it?
There was no better gift for this awesome crowd than that series. The greatest series we have ever seen in RLCS history.
Buoyed by the popularity of Dignitas and their impressive run, other faces within the community continued the trend of growing and helping to give this rising scene the superstars it deserved. This includes players like Cloud9's Squishy Muffins, a player who is known for his raw mechanical skill and highlight reel plays.
He'll spawn in the back. You heard them on the desk talking about it. What a play, are you kidding me? Squishy and Gimmick tag team the 4th one.
Not very often do I genuinely have no clue a goal's about to happen. What on earth? Squishy!
G2 Esports Rocket League lineup has also become a fan favorite. Kronovi, JNaps, and Rizzo have become widely loved for becoming one of the most tight-knit teams in the world, and watching them play together is a testament to the team game that Rocket League is at a competitive level. Early on, they were seen as a hyped roster that never really lived up. But it was at E-League that everything clicked for these guys, and the community fell in love with them.
5-4, they play it out. Turbo Pulsar picks it up. He's got Violent Panda to work with, but they have to keep it in the air. It doesn't happen. G2 are the E-League champions.
Kronovi, you are an Atlanta native, correct?
Yeah, right from around here.
How does it feel to win in front of the literal home crowd?
It feels good to finally bring home a trophy for home.
And as Rocket League was reaching the peak of its popularity, the most memorable tournament in the game's history went down.
Welcome back to the RLCS Season 6 World Championships. I'm Leafx, and I gotta say, I got goosebumps.
Gearing up for the 2018 World Championship, Dignitas was the absolute odds-on favorite to take down yet another trophy. it was almost a given in the eyes of many of the game's most dedicated fans. And this time, more than any other, they'd be getting paid. The event boasted a whopping $1 million prize pool. But in Rocket League, anyone can win on any given day. And what transpired was arguably the greatest upset of the year in esports.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Orleans Arena right here in Las Vegas, this is the grand finals of the Rocket League World Championship.
Cloud9 did the impossible. They worked their way through the lower bracket, winning 5 straight series before getting their shot against Dignitas.
One more attempt, and they won't make it. That is it. The streak is over. Cloud9 take the first match in the grand finals.
They beat the game's best team on the biggest stage to reset the bracket before winning another full set to take the entire tournament and make Rocket League history.
They've done it. Cloud9 dethrones the kings of Rocket League, and they do it. Cloud9, your Season 6 World Champions!
And while perhaps the most exciting moment in the game's history went down, the event's Twitch viewership peaked at more than 100,000.
Let's hear it for your world champions, guys. Cloud9!
In many ways, this upset embodies Rocket League's potential as an esport. When a game is based around a physics engine like this, you get that sports effect. That feeling that, when pushed in the right direction, anyone can win on any given day. Like a goalie having a huge playoff run in hockey, a closer that just can't be solved in baseball, or a quarterback that just won't be beat in football. In Rocket League, it feels like there's a capacity to will yourself past a skill disadvantage. And this is what creates fandom. Now, there's still a trail to be paved in order for Rocket League to jump into the upper echelon of esports. This isn't CSGO, League of Legends, or Dota 2, where million-dollar purses and full-time contracts are the norm. But clearly people are starting to take notice, and the game has not stopped growing. Psyonix has even taken the interest in esports as a means to add to the game. In 2018, they announced an in-game tournament mode in conjunction with Steam.
Our next update coming this spring includes tournaments, an all-new feature that allows our players to create and run their own tournaments in-game.
If these big events and large prizes continue, it's only a matter of time until we see more of esports' largest organizations jumping into the game. The format has been so grossly popular all along the spectrum of casual to hardcore that Psyonix has been able to expand their engine to other sports. Now there's a rocket car iteration of hockey and basketball to pull you in just like the game's original form.
Come on, one. Like it's Kelly and I'm Baybound. Treat the greatest competition like the playground.
More than anything, Rocket League has shown us the sheer depth to which the esports community can take a hold of a game. To be captured by something so simple and wielded to show just how skilled they can be. It creates moments like Squishy Muffin's ceiling shot.
Unable to take it to Squishy now. With a ceiling shot, he puts it through!
Or Justin's late game heroics to force overtime in Season 5 Worlds.
Bounces into the corner! Energy still around! Justin is there for the shot! Justin! This is Rocket League!
This is people making hundreds of thousands of dollars competing in a game where cars play soccer. And it's so damn cool. This is the world we live in now, and Rocket League is only getting bigger.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.